Hello everybody, how's it going? This is Honkai Star Railer and we are back with another OG original video nobody's ever done. Yes, that's me, I know. So, well, I have to do it. I have to make this video, man. Everybody's doing it, I have to do it. But the spin is, I would like to just detail every single buff that everybody's getting, just for your entertainment, and it might help you actually, because I saw that many people just states and just gives a general impression, and I would like to do that also. I mean, I will point the highlights of the buffs, but I want to put some numbers on it. So I would like to say my piece on whether it's worth it or not, whether the buffs are ass or the character is still ass, but that at the end of the video. Okay, so I'd like to start with Blade. As you can see, is gonna be an HP scaler, and it's gonna be mainly the main rework they did is on the skill, the E1, and that's it. The other things that he got is reworked multiplier. So as you can see, the basic attack, instead of 100% attack, is going to scale 50% attack, 50% HP. Sorry. The enhanced basic attack, instead of 100% HP and 40% attack, is going to scale to 130% HP. And the side target, instead of 40% HP and 60% attack, is going to get 52% HP. The skill now is getting the taunt that he so much desperately needed, to be honest. Clara already had it. I don't know why they didn't put the taunt in the beginning. You had to use Lynx. I think they did it so that that Lynx was a sellable unit. I actually fell for it. I actually wanted a good E6 Lynx, which I ended up getting but never using, because Lynx is the most tailored and the most specific healer for a unit. Well, now that we have Hyacinth, I guess she works pretty well with Castoris, but now Hyacinth has proven to be a nice damage dealer also, so it's not that, you know, Castoris dependent. Okay, but Lynx was really made just for Blade. Well, actually, also Clara, I guess, to be fair, and Yunli. Well, I couldn't really say. Well, at that moment, it was a really power move. I thought they really did release Lynx just for Blade. Now, the ultimate, instead of 40% attack, 40% attack plus 100% HP and 100% HP loss, it's gonna be 100% HP and 100% HP loss. Side target, instead of 60% HP, 60% attack and 40% HP plus 40% HP loss, it's gonna be 60% HP and 50% HP loss. The talent, they remove the 44% attack percentage, and the scaling for HP, it will be raised to 100%, 130% HP. The trace, third trace, now regenerates 50 extra energy when using talented follow-up attack. Yeah, this also is the new thing that they did, which is going to be pretty useful for the ultimates. Now, the biggest thing he got in regards as Eidolon is that instead of the ultimate only dealing additionally increased damage, now the enhanced basic attack and the ultimate also are included in the E1. The numbers remain the same. 100%, 150% of the tally of Blade HP will be capped at 90% of its max HP. So that's gonna be just that. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about Jingliu. Jingliu, another HP scaler now. She will, instead of 100% attack from the basic attack, she will scale 50% HP. Skill, instead of 200% attack, she will scale 150% HP. Enhanced skill, main and adjacent, 250, 125% attack, will be 150 and 75% HP. The ultimate, main adjacent, 300 and 150% attack, will be 180, 90% HP. The talent, instead of 4% HP, will consume 5% HP. And the HP consumption to attack conversion is removed. Now, as for spectral transmigration state, now Jingliu gains 1 stack of moonlight when consuming ally targets HP. Each stack of moonlight increases Jingliu's crit damage by 44, up to 5 stacks. When SIGZ stacks become 0, Jingliu will exit the spectral transmigration state and remove all moonlight. The edit tells us that when Jingliu enters spectral transmigration state, she gains an additional stack of CGZ also. Whatever that is, man. SIGZ, I don't know what that is. So, Trace. I don't have Jingliu. I don't have her. Where were we? Traces, right? Yeah, Trace. The second Trace, the old was after using Transcendent Flash, the next action advances by 10%. Now, after using Transcendent Flash, additionally regenerates 50% energy. So we got the action advance and the 50 energy back. Just like Blade. As we can see, we're getting more energy recharge, and the actual number is the same. So, nice rework on Eidolons. We got the first one. Now the new is when using her ultimate or enhanced skill, Jingliu's crit damage increases by 36% for 1 turn. Moreover, additionally deals 1 instance of ice damage equal to 80% HP to the primary target. So, instead of 24, we got 36. And instead of 100% attack, we get 80% HP for the additional instance of ice damage. The E4, the new one is while in the spectral transmigration state, each stack of moonlight additionally increases crit damage by 20%. And the E6 is when Jingliu enters the spectral transmigration state, the SIGZ stack limit increases by 1, and Jingliu obtains 1 stack of CGZ. While she is in the spectral transmigration state, her highest res pen increases by 20%. The old one was when Jingliu enters the spectral transmigration state, the SIGZ stack limit increases by 1, and Jingliu obtains 1 stack. While she in the spectral transmigration state, her crit damage increases by 50%. So we are getting the res pen increase, which is totally new. And well, to be honest, we will talk about later, but I don't really see much usage of Jingliu in the future. So let's talk about KAFKA, shall we? Shall we do this or shall we not do this? So, as you can see, change on skill, change on ultimate, change on talent. I took this from Reddit, and the green one is the added content, and the removed slashed in black thing is how it was to be. Okay, so in the skill section, says that if the designated enemy or their adjacent target is currently receiving dot, all dots currently placed on the enemy immediately produce damage equal to 75% or 50% of the original damage. As for Twilight Trill, instead of only shock state, well, let's read it from the beginning. Deals lightning damage equal to 80% of KAFKA's attacks to all enemies. 100% big chance for attack enemies to become shocked and immediately take damage from their current shock state. So instead of shock state, it's gonna be dot debuffs. So this is I think one of the greatest change for Kafka, because it will take into consideration every dot debuffs. Equal to, instead of 100, 120%. 120% is a little bit low, to be honest, but we'll see if all of the dot debuffs thing is going to make an impact. And as for the talent, instead of 1 time per turn, is going to be 2 per turns. Which is, well, pretty good, pretty crazy. She can actually work better on an Necron team. So, and I think this will be triggered by any kind of attack, not only the basic attack, which is pretty good. So as for traces, Torture and Thorn. Torture is going to be changed when ally target's attack hit rate is over 75%. Kafka increases their DOT dealt by 75%. And Thorns, after using ultimate, talent's follow-up attack regain 1 trigger count and can cause all DOT debuffs the target is currently under to immediately produce damage to equal to 80% of the original damage. And we are going straight to the Eidolons. E1 and E2. E1, when using an attack, there is a 100% base chance to cause the target to take 30% more DOT for 2 turns. And the E2 is going to be changed as when talent triggers follow-up attack, Kafka's attack increases by 25%. And this effect can stack up to 2 times, less than for 3 turns. Okay. Okay, so Silverwolf. What's changed? Well, from a basic attack, nothing changed. Skill. The implant chance is up. Instead of 85%, is going to be 125 and 120%, which is huge. Okay, no more effective rate. To be honest, I think that you'll be fine at 20-30% effective rate. To be honest, right now. The implant durations is going to last 3 turns instead of 2, which is insane, pretty insane. Implanted weakness now prioritizing the first character in the lineup, as if you have Luocha, if you have Castoris, if you have Luocha, is going to implant the imaginary. If you have Castoris, is going to implant the quantum. So it's not random anymore. If you're using a rainbow team, the enemy all type resistant reduction debuff from 10% to 13%, a little minor. The implanted weakness will now transfer to another enemy when an enemy with it dies. So this is pretty good. The ultimate, now the biggest change, instead of single target is going to be AoE. The defense now chance is instead 100, going to be 120%. The talent, the defense down bug, instead of 8 is going to be 12. The implant bug chance of 0 attack, instead of 72%, which was a little bit low, it's going to be 100%. Trace number 1, increased chance of implanting bugs upon enemy weakness break from 65% to 100%. The second trace used to be that the duration of the weakness implanted by Silverwolf skill increases by 1 turn, and now at the start of the battle immediately regenerates 20 energy. Silverwolf regenerates 5 energy at the start of her own turn. Well, that was a difficult sentence to read. This is actually pretty good. Energy regen is massive at Silverwolf, especially in a Necron team where you want to dish ults every time, all the time. I think Pilla is going to be replaced pretty hard now. There's no way that you can use Pilla now. Honest, there's no way. If you have Silverwolf, of course. The third trace, if there are 3 or more debuffs, this is the old one, affecting the enemy when a skill is used, then the skill decreases the enemy all type resistance by an additional 3%, which is a little bit low. Now the new one, for every 10% effect hit rate that Silverwolf has, additionally increase her attack by 10% to a max of 50%, which is interesting. I didn't know that actually. Now that I see it, pretty good, man. So the biggest one, I think, the Eidolons, they really did something with the Silverwolf. Check this out. The E2, when an enemy enters the battle, reduces their effect resist by 20%, and now, when the enemy enters the battle, increase damage received by 20%. When the enemy target receives an attack from an ally target, Silverwolf has a 100% base chance of implanting the attack at enemy target with 1 random bug. So this is insane. The E2 makes Silverwolf the best partner for well, if you have Zhao Chu, we'll have to test it, but I think that if you don't have Zhao Chu and have a E2 Silverwolf, there's no reason for you to pull a Zhao Chu now. I think she will be the best Acheron partner by far. More resist, more all over, better defense red, better respan, more energy recharge, more ults. Well, it's insane. It's insane, to be honest. It's insane. Plus, they did on the third trace, you have a reason to build effective rate on Silverwolf, more attack. So if you want to build her as a DPS, if you already have I don't know, a E6 or E4 Silverwolf, you want to go the DPS route, it's gonna be a viable option at this point. I mean, 50% more attack is a lot. It's not that little. Okay, so as for the buffs, that's that. So now that we talked about the buffs, I would like to say my piece on whether it's going to be relevant or not, on whether who's got the best buffs, who's gonna be better, like at an objectively viewpoint. The best one is gonna be Silverwolf, hands down. Silverwolf is the queen of these buffs. There's so many options now for Silverwolf being the best in slot for Acheron, in my opinion, allegedly. Don't quote me on that, but a significant buff. The buffs that I like the most is the energy regen, effect, because Silverwolf was a little behind Pella on energy regeneration, even with the appropriate light cone. You know, it was still, you know, at least in my opinion, in my team comp, Silverwolf was a little far behind Pella. Also, the biggest number one, of course, is the AoE ultimate is insane. Now it's just like Pella, and well, if you have a E2 Silverwolf, it's just insane. So a lot going on for Silverwolf. Everything is better, and well, I'm surprised that they did it like that. They really buffed her, and this is a significant buff. It's not like, you know, because most of the other buffs are somewhat, you know. Let's talk about Blade, for example. Blade, I think, is out of the bunch the second best buffed character, to be honest, because they just made him better multipliers, and yeah, Blade at its core is not a bad unit, if you know what I mean. It's just, yeah, I guess the attack percentage scaling was really hard to manage, so they got rid of it. And but honestly, Blade is not a bad unit. The way it plays is not bad, so I just think that we will have to see whether will be usable, especially because we are getting Saber, which obviously power creeps any destruction with unit. I don't care if it's AoE, I don't care if it's Blade plays differently from a standard DPS unit because he needs to be attacked. Now he gets the taunt on this skill, which is good. So many things going on, but it doesn't really change much. It's not like a Silverwolf, to be honest. It's not as big, as impactful as Silverwolf. But I think that he's the second better buffed. And you can argue, but Honkai, isn't KAFKA better? I guess that KAFKA is indeed better, but the DOT team, as it stands right now, doesn't have a chance still. Even though they buffed KAFKA, there's really no reason to use a DOT team still because we don't have a buffed Black Swan, we don't have a buffed Gwynaifen, we don't have a buffed Sempo, we don't have a buffed Luca. So all of the DOT units, they're pretty old, and they did not rework KAFKA as to as the savior of DOT. She cannot take the DOT meta up on her shoulders alone and make it great again. That's not gonna happen, and I don't think it is not gonna happen. So on paper, KAFKA's buffs are good. Mainly, the thing that, as you saw, that instead of shock, it counts every DOT, so it's pretty beneficial if you're playing a DOT team. But right now, I think that she's best suited for an Acheron team, to be honest. If there's a heavy lightning weakness, pure fiction, heavy content where you need to break enemies, I see her playing as a break DPS also. KAFKA, I think that she could work. But as for the DOT, I don't think that we'll have to see. I heard that we are getting a new unit in the future. I don't know, in 3.7, one of the last Amphorius patch, that we're getting a DOT unit, I think, right? So I heard. So we will have to see. And we're getting KAFKA buffs. If we get the newest DOT unit, yes, she will be useful, of course. The worst character, of course, is JINGLIU. I think mainly for a usage point. First of all, something that I guess it might be not that obvious, but now she cannot be played with Robin. Now she is an HP scaler, so she won't be able. I mean, she can be used with the standard units you were using them with, but I guess now she plays better with Tribi. Now she plays better with Remembrance MC. Of course, I guess, well, the Feather Boy, the buffer is always a good pick, good choice. But out of the 4 characters, I do believe that JINGLIU won't really be that impactful. JINGLIU and Blade, also if you're going for Saber, depending on your account. I have a video talking about how to plan, how to beat power creep. You really have to watch for the element and the typing. To be honest, I wouldn't go for Silverwolf. I mean, I wouldn't go for any of those units, of course. If they get a rerun, I wouldn't go for any of these units. The only one I would go for is Silverwolf, because now she's basically the best debuffer. Like, she has a niche. She really has a niche now. So she's the best debuffer, and debuffers are something that the games maybe will get more debuffers in the future, but it's not a forgotten category. We kind of can use debuffers. That's what I'm saying. They can be used for zero cycling. There's a usage, but JINGLIU and Blade, and right now KAFKA, as it stands, without any allies, they're not really impactful on the meta. JINGLIU is power crept by the Herta, We'll have to see on the new with this new multipliers if she can dish the same amount of damage or even more. But if you have the Herta, of course you're not gonna pull for a Jingliu, to be honest. Based on the damage and the way it plays, it's a AoE damage dealer, a hyper carry. Not really much to say. I think it's pretty obvious how it is. So let me know if you agree with my assessment. Let me know if you enjoyed it. The only thing I did more instead of the other videos is showing the actual buffs, not just the main highlights, and I hope you value that, and I hope that you can consider being a friend of mine. I'm not saying to subscribe. I'm not saying I'm a human being just like you, man. I need friends. I need people to connect with, and I'm just a regular guy. I just want to talk about Honkai Star Rail. I want to talk about lore. I made a short video where I was talking about this figure that you can see in a mural when you're going inside the Tower of Aquila, and it was pretty interesting because somebody actually commented and said, she said her piece, or he said his piece about the origin of that creature. And yeah, that's so interesting. It's something that I would like to do, something that I would like to have a community where we can discuss, especially lore. What I'm missing in the Honkai planet, in the Honkai sphere, is the Honkai Impact 3rd. I didn't play that game, a little bit, but the story is so convoluted. But I really do enjoy the lore of Genshin. I do enjoy the lore of Honkai Star Rail, especially Honkai Star Rail. I really do like this game. So just don't be shy, man. Let's just connect, let's just share, let's just do. I actually, me personally, I've deleted all of my I deleted all my Instagram, I'll delete all my Facebook. I just hate it, but I'm going to create a new one for Honkai. I'll be Honkai Star Railer. I just deleted everything I got from the internet that I know so far, because I just hate it. So yeah, I said I wanted to build a community and all that. I don't actually have any information about me, but we'll work on that. And when I say we, I mean I. Okay, so well, thank you for watching this video. See you next time. Enjoy yourself.